Hello, my beautiful earth signs. How are we doing? All right, so I'm in my new setup, my new space, right? And I wanted to try to get weeklies done since I don't have anybody booked for the first half of my day. So we're going to try to get the videos done, and then I can upload them when I get home tonight. In heart chakra energy, we have polite declaration. You can move in whatever direction you need to accomplish your goals. It is time for you to get out there and claim what is yours and stay in your power, right? And I feel that very much. It's like the portal has been opened. All these things that I've been building towards, it's like the portals keep coming open, and it's like I'm seeing the opportunity to run in those portals, right? And really get it done, which is why earth signs have been in ground and center through podcast and through the things that I share all week, for sure. So I pulled what we have for messages from Spirit, because we are really working in our divine purpose, right? Really allowing ourselves to step into our gifts, right? And really trying to see the opportunities and seize them as we're going, right? Which is why water signs were doing all the deep diving in heart chakra energy, right? To put ourselves in alignment. And so with polite declaration, this goes to show why the water signs are nurturing in that energy and purging, right? So first out, Spirit was letting us know that we are doing our self-reflections. It's about the inner rhythms and listening to our intuition, right? Because we also have the owl, the moon energy, and here we are on this forward path, just kind of moving through where our intuition just kind of tells us to go, right? And so within that, then we land in the expectations, the process, and the goals of what we're doing, right? The messages that are coming through that are putting us in balance between our emotions and our ego energy, right? There's a balance, which is then opening the gate, the portal, right, for us to be able to go through, which is how I seen it when I was looking at these two cards, right? Because this one here is all about us just being on journey, right? Fulfilling journey, getting the wisdom, really being connected to the divine and our energy of where our emotions are, which then opens that portal of us being in balance, right? Even in podcasts, we had full spectrum of alignment, right? And then it just, here it is. Now we're just kind of going through in this path, receiving these messages. On my way to Fond du Lac yesterday, I seen a red-tailed hawk that went up by my window, and it was just the most beautiful thing to experience, because here's messages that are coming in, right? Which then, as we are clearing and going through this path, right, we also have cleansing, releasing the burdens, detoxification of our energy flow, which is why I feel it in my heart chakra and my solar and my sacral. That these opportunities are coming in, and now I'm starting to see it and jump in there where I need to be, right? Because now it's very much relying on the nurturing energies, right? We have a bear here, and then we have like this spirit, right? It's like the path is clearing, which is why we're cleansing. So saging and meditation, really that Four of Swords energy is going to be where we need to be, earth signs, for the rest of this week, right? Because then as we're cleansing, it takes us into the big winds moon, right? Which is that leadership, that self-discipline, and stepping into our psychic abilities, which is exactly how I seen it, right? These moon frequencies, changes that we go through, each moon cycle, right, brings different gifts, which is why I've been really trying to take more time out and work with how my gifts are changing, right? Get a better understanding of how I'm grounding this energy as I'm bringing it into fruition, right? It's very much, even in this phase here, I feel that it's like I'm very focused and intense on strategically moving my emotions and leading Soul Tribe through these energy shifts, right? Because I'm starting to understand how I work, which means I'm starting to put the puzzle pieces in on how collective energies are coming into alignment. Because then as we're moving through our emotions, right, in the big wind's moon here, we're moving straight into the frog clan, right, which is our cleansing, releasing, and healing energies, which again is why water signs is doing that spiral deep dive, right, because it is about cleansing our soul, our heart, our mind, right, our bodies, with releasing those burdens, which we had that in our cleansing process that we are going through, right? Which would make sense why in podcast as well, the fire signs were bringing in vulture energy, right? Cleansing, clearing, healing us, right? Going through this transformation, which again makes sense why as a collective we're all in this journey. Because then after we are going through this cleansing process, right? This clearing, this healing of heart chakra, moving forward, just moving forward in the emotions of where the divine is putting us on our soul's path, right? Our ending energy is new beginnings, the thought process through inspiration, right? So here is the beautiful eagle, which I have been seeing. I seen an eagle last year in April, which is my cover photo on my personal page, because how beautiful was that? And then all of a sudden, couple days ago, I seen another eagle, and it flew right up to me in slow motion as I was looking out my big bay window at home. And that was such a beautiful energy because I thought, oh my God, I was so excited about that because I knew that the eagles brought spiritual change, right? Communing with the divine. And that was such, and feathers, look at all these feathers. I love feathers. But anyway, so this is what we're doing. This is why we're very strategic and methodical, right? Using our divinational tools. Even my cards work with my vibration, gives me a deeper feeling, gives me a deeper knowledge of what I'm seeing and hearing, but it's putting it into focus why I'm feeling it all at the same time, right? So there's that inspiration, right? That fire being ignited again in our soul, this forward movement. So let's go ahead and start clarifying where heart chakra is and where our grounding energies are for this forward movement. I'm feeling these cards today. So let's find out this polite declaration. Moving in whatever, yeah, see, because we have Nine of Cups energy. This is the emotional fulfillment, right? Each cup has a butterfly. This has been something where we've been doing this deep dive in our emotions and preparing ourselves for emotional happiness, right? Which is why it is time for us to get out there, to really make ourselves known, right? To really claim what is yours and stay in your power. Because it is the emotional fulfillment that's being fulfilled, which is why we feel that we're staying in our power. So let's find out what our self-reflection and other inner rhythms and intuition is. Yeah, see, Ace of Cups. There's that emotional fulfillment that we have in heart chakra energy. And that is what gives us these new beginnings, right? This Ace of Cups, right? This happiness, these new emotions, because we're walking straight into the emotions, right? We're filling our cups. Got it. So with this budding tree moon, this is about our expectations, the process, and the goals of how we're going to move. Shit, I got a bigger table and I still dropped my cards. So we are moving into where this process is taking us, being able to balance between ego and heart, right? For forward movement, being present. That's what gives us the Page of Wands with the Four of Wands, right? Both of these are very much, these are new fires, passions, and desires, right? Setting out on journey and seeing, there's that Ace of Cups energy, seeing everything to be a little bit more beautiful, happy home, happy hearth, happy abundance. 1111, working with our ascended masters, angels, guides, spirit guides, right? Our ancestors to really be able to have happy home, happy hearth, happy abundance, right? These are those new beginnings. That's the expectations that I have, right? And the process of how I'm moving my goals into this energy is because I'm doing it, because it lights my fire. It's a passion, it's a desire that I have to be able to now finally have seen everything and then moved it into the releasing of the burdens, right? this cleansing energy, detoxification, and energy flow. So let's find out what it is that we are releasing as we're moving forward. Detoxifying and getting that energy. No, see, it's giving us victory. 6 of Wands, right? That's exactly why we're moving forward, seeing the bigger picture, right? Because it gives us victory and celebration. Look, they're eating fruits, right? She's eating grapes, and there's all these beautiful flowers. So this is allowing yourself to grow and feel through this transition. The happiness, the grounding energies, right? See, that's how I see it. Masculine, feminine energies being in one, in grounding, in pause, reflect, and release, and how this is moving forward in your passions, how this fits into your soul's purpose, right? Makes sense, which is why we get victory in the deal by just chugging and moving forward. Now we have leadership, self-discipline, and stepping into our psychic abilities. So what are we learning, Spirit? What are we learning for the earth signs in this new emotional fulfillment of 9 of Cups? We are learning that we have to stay out of our head, right? No more conflict, no more confusion, just forward movement. Because when we're full up here, we're not allowing the divine to come in and give us the messages, right? Our gifts. That's why we have these psychic abilities. That's why we know what we know, because we know it. And that's why we work so hard to try to get it to fruition, to move it into the present, right? Building new timelines, building new earth, right? Giving us something else, keeping it in check, right? So within this frog plan, cleansing, releasing, and healing energies, So we have the portal wasn't open yet, which is why it's been slow and steady and methodical, right? Because we're working with the divine. This is divine timing, right? And we all needed to be in one vibration in order to reach our goals, which would make sense why we are cleansing, releasing, and healing, and why the fire signs are coming in with vulture energy to help us clear, cleanse, and release down to the purest form of rebirth, which is why the portal hasn't been open for us to move it, right? It's been the alignment of heart chakra energy, which then gives us the 9 of Pentacles, right? Again, this is pre-Empress energy. Being able to be independent, happy, healthy, beautiful, in alignment, right? Just being able to pick and choose where your path is leading you. I see. Which is why it's leading us into the new beginnings. The inspiration and the thought process, right? Seeing the messages with the ego. Communing with the divine to get the rest of the information. So let's find out why the 9 of Swords is here. Yes, we got to stay out of our head, right, and move forward in the 7 of Cups energy, seeing the opportunities as they come, right? Because then it's like puzzle pieces. Then we can put our self back together, right, along with the collectives, right? Because we're all pulling a specific puzzle piece in this transformation. There's a white spiritual butterfly, right? The transformation coming out and gaining all these opportunities that we see, which is why the portal hasn't been open yet, because we're all purging and learning to build this new timeline with the 9 of Pentacles, right? Slow, methodical, steady movement, which is who I am. I'm a pinnacle energy. If it doesn't make sense to me, I don't move, because I don't see it, feel it, hear it, understand it. So then I have to put certain things on the back burner until that puzzle piece comes to me and I'm like, oh, now I'm going to pick this up and bring this into cleansing energies. Got it, got it. I understand that. So let's find out, as we're moving forward, this emotional fulfillment is putting, see, the Queen of Swords. It is about delivering justice, truth, clarity, forward movement. Because we're working with the divine, we won't take anything less than what we set ourselves responsible for our goals, which makes sense why heart chakra energy is the 9 of Cups, emotional fulfillment, with polite declaration, you can move in whatever direction you need to accomplish your goals. It is time for you to get out there, claim what is yours, and stay in your power, which is why we're staying in our power with the Queen of Swords. We speak our truth, right? And sometimes some people don't like it, right? But they're not ready. They're not ready. And so I've had to learn to deal with that. When they're ready, they find me. And that's how it's been going. Got it. Got it. Got it. Yeah, because see, we're in balance. We have the Lover's energy. Being in balance, being in heart chakra, being in that grounding energy, which is why we have new beginnings, thought process, and the inspiration of how we're moving this forward. Especially since the portal hasn't been fully open for the next stage yet, right? Which is why I feel like cleansing and healing with Reiki would be the next step for the collectives, because we all need to heal and drop the burdens and release and purge this energy and move forward, right? Which is then where it would give us the Nine of Pentacles to be able to be free in our power, cleared, clean slate, and moving forward. Yeah, I understand this. I understand this a lot. Let's pull a unicorn oracle here for the earth energy for this week's manifestations. Yeah, setting our intentions. So we have passion, do what excites you, get fired up about your life, and increase your energy levels, right? So there's that Page of Wands that we had. In moving this forward, it is about the happiness, the expectations of what you want, what you see, especially when we're putting the emotions and the efforts into happy home, happy hearth, happy abundance, right? Because we want an abundant, equally giving and receiving collectives who are ready to make forward movement, which is why it is a passion. That's why I'm a healer. That's why I understand what I'm doing. It's just learning how to understand my new energies. We also have hope, stay positive. The worst is behind you. Look up to the light. I love that, right? There's that forward movement coming out of the shadow energy and just really saying, I'm not settling for anything that puts me in a trigger, anything that puts me in shadow energies. I've already cleared that. I've healed that. I've moved forward. I know my goals. I know the expectations of where I'm going, and I'm listening to the divine and traveling on journey, which would make sense why we also have nature. Ground yourself. Find a sanctuary in nature and connect with the elements, right? So again, this is very much that old soul wisdom, that grounding energies, really allowing heart chakra to shine, ground, right? Letting Mother Nature just kind of push you where you need to be. So let's see a couple of spirit messages here. I have a balanced relationship with time, and I use my time well, which makes sense why our ending energies are the Lovers, right? Being in balance. Oh, and under the Lovers, look at that. We have cycle closure with the world. Karmic cycles coming to a close, which is why we put ourselves in balance of heart and ego. Makes sense, you guys, for this week. So we have, I accept that here and now is exactly where I am, and that is a place of profound learning, which is why we have the Queen of Swords, right? There's the Justice, cutting things out that doesn't fit us for our highest and best good, right? And it also makes sense why the portal hasn't been open for us to come through with the Nine of Pentacles and ground this energy yet, because we're all in a purgy energy, and we can't ground that, because then we're grounding shadow side energy. Got it. I am connected to the earth and all of life around me, which again makes sense why we would also have nurture, grounding energies, releasing, detoxifying, right? We're all in that purge energy. Yeah. I am ready for something bigger, better, and brighter. Amen. I claim that shit. What, earth signs, right? That's exactly why we're walking in with new beginnings through our thought process and inspiration, right? Allowing the messages to come from the divine. Yeah. And then we have, I accept and create more flow and pleasure in my life. And that's exactly how I feel. It's like I am over purging and 8 of Cupsing and ground and center. It's like I want to experience something new, because we've been in ground and center for the earth signs for over a month, right? And then we've been in 8 of Cups energy for 6 months. But again, that's how the earth signs learn, because we're very slow and at a steady pace and a process of being strategic and methodical as we make our movements, right? So I really understand the slow process, right, of trying to purge and purge and purge, and which is why we need to have compassion and love, right? Equally giving and receiving energies, because I feel like when people come into my energy and they're wearing a mask and they're not ready to hear what I have to say, then I don't push anything. I just say, I gave you the information, do with it what you will. And then when it comes to fruition and they come back to me and say everything that you had said to me is what was happening, it's very, for me, it is validating. But for me, it's very much like, okay, so see, now I understand, right? You had to go through this. You had to learn this. You had to walk your path. You had to be the one to clear the karma. You had to be the one to do this. You had to put your crown on, right? I can't pray everybody into heaven. And that's been very hard for me, because I want to, right? Because I love us and I love Soul Tribe. But that's the whole reason why we meet specific people during these puzzle pieces, during these times of going through this healing process, right? Because that's exactly where I've already been. And so it's easier for us to pull back and lend a hand and get somebody to move forward when they're at the darkest, right? Because by then, what else do they have to lose, right? Nothing. So we're ready, and we're putting ourselves in place as healers for the next set of collectives that are coming through in these waves, right? And so that probably makes sense too, why I've been hearing that song from Luke Bryant, Waves, keep coming in waves. Because that's the song that I've been singing all morning. And after I made that last comment, that triggered that song in my head again. And so it was probably for this reading, for this exact moment, that I would put the puzzle pieces in. See, and that's exactly why we are allowing the messages to come in, and why we're in surrender. Instead of being frustrated about the information that we have, it's putting the puzzle pieces in so we can walk our journey. I love us. I'll see us next week.